Hello, welcome to the stream. We're going to get started in a couple minutes here. Just making sure we're live on everything. Got a big show today. If you're joining us for the first time, feel free to drop a W in the chat or just be active in the chat. I'm trying to get better at streaming, so streaming on Kick and Twitch. I'm not too familiar with, but I'm on there as well. I have the chat set up here so I can definitely see whenever you guys are you know, joining me. So let me just double check, make sure we're good, and then we'll get started shortly. Thank you. All right, and welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining me today, whether you're on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, or Rumble. So, all great platforms. We got a big day today. It's Hump Day, Wednesday, May 20th. Some of the headlines today that we're going to discuss, we're going to touch on the Thomas Massie fallout. So many people think he was robbed in Kentucky. So we're going to dig into a little bit of that. We're going to hear from Alex Jones, Nick Fuentes, some of the people that made some of the best points when analyzing this loss for Massie and for America, really. Fairly not shocking, but disappointing, disheartening. Massie still has 7 months left, so we're going to talk about that. He got defeated by Gallrein. It was record spending, heavy pro-Israel donor money. What does this mean for America first? What does the movement do next? Trump also dropped a viral, he had another soundbite today. He was joking about becoming the prime minister of Israel. So we're gonna take a look at that. We're gonna play that soundbite. He said that he'd be polling at 99%. So yeah, but it was kind of a funny comment. It'd be a lot funnier if it wasn't if we weren't in shambles as a country right now. So the ongoing Iran Middle East tensions, they're keeping the oil prices volatile. So we'll take a look at the oil price. I believe it went down a little bit today. I think we're at 106 for Brent crude right now, but we'll take a look at the numbers there. More foreign policy divides. So it's splitting people on the right, right? You have people like Loomer going after people like Fuentes. You have Fuentes and Blazarian fighting. Everyone's just kind of going after each other. But there seems to be a coalition of pro-Israel and anti-Israel. So we'll look at X and all this, and at the end, we'll cover a little bit of the NBA playoffs. I hadn't been paying too much attention, and my Lakers had gotten eliminated. However, both of these East and Western Conference series seem to be really, really good. I was watching game one of the Spurs 2 days ago, and that went into, I think, double over. Was it double overtime or just single overtime? And then I was at the gym today. I didn't get a chance to look at the result yesterday for the Cavs and the who are they even playing? Cavs, Knicks, Cavs and Knicks. Jalen Brunson, always exciting. So I think the Knicks pulled it off too, so that'll be really good. So let's take a look once again. So these are just some of the topics. Trump, I could be the best prime minister of Israel. Thomas Massie, you got all these bullshit politicians talking shit on Thomas Massie, and that's not cool. The guy's basically the most Republican on in terms of his voting. I think 91% of the time he voted with the pro Republican stance. So he really got screwed. So we'll go into that and let's just get started. Here you see we got the chat. Let me see if I can clear some of that out. All right, if you guys join, feel free to drop a message. Otherwise, we'll just leave that there. So let's get started. The Thomas Massie thing is the biggest issue, but as always, I like to get started with the president's Truth Social. So let's hop on over to that. So my screen's up here. Let's refresh Donald Trump. Let's see what he's been talking about today. So I know yesterday he tweeted out a bunch of stuff like he normally does, and it was all political type endorsements. So let's see what he's tweeted out today or truthed out today. So let's scroll down. 11 hours ago. Wow. Okay. So 11 hours ago would make it overnight. So he's Tupperville, Mike Rogers, some guy. Okay. So Trump's posting all all the Team Trump Republicans. So that was 21 hours ago. I don't know if this music's too loud for you guys, but I kind of like it. If it's too loud, let me know in the chat. If you're on Rumble, I'm not sure if I can. Let me see if I can get to the Rumble chat just to make sure I'm not missing anyone there. I appreciate you guys joining me. Show some love. Follow the socials if you can. I'm trying to be more organized and do this more frequently. I feel like there's a lot I want to say. I watch a lot of news. Let me just drop a message in the chat. I wonder if it'll. So yeah, so the Rumble chat doesn't come to my live chat, so I have to look at that.
Your brain hide.
I have to look at that one
that no one ever told you
manually. So I wonder if it'll. All right, cool. So I'm on Rumble. So drop your messages if. And give me a follow on X if you're curious. If you want to get in contact, you can always reach me there. So, all right, let's take a dive into President Trump's Truth Social. So he's very politically focused here. You can see in the last 21 hours, all of his posts have been political about the primaries. So the election update, 37-0, Trump said, 100% on his endorsements. 6-0 in Kentucky, 6-0 in Alabama. I don't know how, well, Tupperville, we can talk about each race actually individually if we wanted to, so. All right, so here he's talking about Elizabeth McDonough, or who is it? Let me see. Say the Republicans aren't doing it. The Republicans aren't doing it because they say Democrats will never do it, but the Republicans are wrong. Get smart and tough, Republicans, or you'll be looking for a job more sooner than you thought possible. Much sooner than you thought possible. Trump just openly threatening his Republicans in his party there, essentially saying, get in line, or we're gonna kick you the fuck out, you know? So crazy, but this will be pretty cool. If you don't have Paramount, I'm not a guy that shills out for streaming services, but as far as bang for your buck, getting UFC, all the cards, all the pay-per-views included with your streaming service is pretty cool. This will be must watch, definitely. It's a cool picture of Dana White and President Trump. I wonder if they're really going to put the. I think they really are putting the octagon on the on the front lawn. That should be something to watch. This is the America we live in, everybody. Who would have thought, right? You just have a. I mean, why are they even wearing gloves? Let's just have them go out there bare knuckle and fight it out 25 minutes straight. No pauses in the rounds. Referee can stand them up whenever they're taking too long. But you got a stacked card. They tried to make it like America versus China, I believe is what. Well, America versus everybody, but they wanted an American fighter against, a Brazilian fighter, Chinese fighter, Russian fighter. But Dana White, I saw a post a day or two ago. He said that he tried his best, but I don't think he was able to get China on the card. So he was a little disappointed by that. Taporia, Justin Gate, Pereira, Gagne. Is he a French guy or what is he? O'Malley, Zabi, Ruffy, Chandler, Nickel, Bo Nickel, Dawkins, and Lopez Garcia. So it's coming up. So Trump also posted this. Kalshi, what does it say? Who will win the presidential election? Did he get this gifted to him, I'm assuming? This is the last thing he posted. And as usual, Truth Social is kind of lit. So let's hop back over to Twitter. All right, and then so this is the one I was talking about. I was telling you that soundbite where Trump is saying, "Right now I'm at 99% in Israel. I could run for prime minister." Now we first heard this morning. AJ Alex Jones was talking. The other AJ. I'm AJ Garcia, but Alex Jones was talking about this. He said, and it's true, I agree with him, that whenever Trump says something kind of crazy, there's a bit of truth in it, as ridiculous as it sounds. So let's hear it straight from the, what are we going to call him? He used to be the GOAT, but let's just hear it from the king's mouth.
Now, at 99% in Israel, I could run for prime minister. So maybe after I do this, I'll go to Israel, run for prime minister. I had a poll this morning. I'm 99%. So that's good. But I'm right now at 99% in Israel.
That's a short one, but
Bang, ooh, bang, 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 ooh, bang, 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 ooh, 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 bang, 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 ooh, bang, bang.
facts.
Ooh, bang, bang,
Usually, I mean, I know women be prepping themselves. They stretch in the morning. They put on all their facial stuff. I haven't had my girlfriend sleeping over lately, but all women are the same. That's what they do. Um, but yeah, as far as cleaning the weasel there, I thought they were just going to use one of those bars of soap, like one of those white bars of soap that you brush your face with, your nutsack, your arms, everything. The multi-purpose bar of soap gets the job done. It smells nice. As long as it gets the job done and you're clean, right? All right, let's dig straight into the all right, top story. Trump-backed candidates win every primary race in 6 states. Pennsylvania 10, Georgia with 9, Alabama and Kentucky 6, 5 in Idaho, 1 in Oregon. highlighting Trump's stronghold on the Republican voters ahead of the midterms. In Kentucky's marquee race, Trump supported Ed Gallrein, former Navy SEAL, and he defeated five-term, I think it was 14 or 12-year Representative Thomas Massie, 55-45% in the most expensive House primary ever, fueled by pro-Israel AIPAC. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna look in to see how much money they donated, but I think they were up around. I heard. I think it was tracked at least around 15 million. Potentially, someone I heard say 30 million was spent on overall on the whole thing. So, all right, and of course, Laura Loomer throwing her just drama and lies all the time. But she's saying Lauren Boebert needs to answer why she was having sex with Tommy Massey 2 weeks after his wife died. Imagine letting a pinecone convince you to campaign with swastika wearing Nazis. What is she? Had to comment there. I think everyone can agree, everyone that's watching my stream, that that was an appropriate comment to make. So, Speaker Johnson, let's hear what Speaker Johnson says.
Um, Last night,
Uh,
just in a
I
nutshell,
don't know if I want to hear him for 3 minutes, so let's hear the gist of it, and then we can fast forward. This guy's so full of shit, I can't really handle listening to him for 3 minutes. And if I fast forward through it, we may or may not make sense of what is being said. So, of course, he went with the line that everybody knew they were going to do when this situation happened. Jones predicted it yesterday when Nick Fuentes was on for 2 hours. He said that what's going to happen is Massey's going to lose. Then all the people that support Gallrein and Trump, what they're going to say is that this is a direct reflection of Trump's power, that the Republicans are firmly behind Trump, completely ignoring the fact that 20 million was given to Ed Gallrein, Massey's opponent, to defeat him, basically, to run ads. All that being said, there's also a report that around 10,000 mail-in ballots came in unexpectedly, all for the uh, Republican challenger, Gallrein. So that's very suspicious. Alex Jones said yesterday that when he saw Hegseth fly over to Kentucky, the Secretary of War used to be Defense. That's never happened before. They've never openly campaigned for somebody. So he said when he saw that, he knew that it was over. It was cooked. The race was cooked. That they would find a way to make sure that that Massey lost. So, all right. He said his endorsement's the most powerful in the history of politics. I wasn't involved in Kentucky primary, blah, blah, blah. Leadership tell him because he's an incumbent. President certainly made his opinion known. I'm not surprised by the results. He and I need conservative patriots here willing to help us continue saving America. And so what they did is that they used the line that Massey wasn't necessarily America first, that he voted against Trump's bill, which he voted against it because of, I believe it was the funding to Israel was one of the main things in the Epstein files, and Trump was having his bill include everything. So it was like one all-encompassing bill.
I talked with the president late last night after everything was all the dust was settling over all the elections, and we talked about how his endorsement is the most powerful in the history of politics. I mean, anywhere in the world. I think it's just a phenomenon. I wasn't involved in the Kentucky primary, Thomas Massey's primary. The leadership team wasn't because he's an incumbent, but the president certainly made his opinion known, and I'm not surprised there. The president knows what's at stake in this fall's elections, and he and I need conservative patriots here ready to help us continue saving America. And that's why we're working hand in hand to defend and grow this House Republican majority. I'm convinced we're going to do that.
Kind of implying that Massey isn't a downright Republican, that he's not down for the cause. Kind of talking shit without talking shit. Mike Johnson, he's from Shreveport. He's a representative out of Shreveport, Louisiana. I worked a bit with I had clients in Shreveport. You know, you would think that they'd have some sort of representative with a backbone. This guy's a real piece of shit, but he toes the line. He does what Trump wants him to do, and he lies with he lies with the same face that he tells the truth with. So he's a great liar.
I'm thrilled about three more of our endorsed candidates who are going to do just that. They advanced last night: Ralph Alvarado in Kentucky, Houston Gaines, and Jim Kingston in the state of Georgia. All three of those are going to be great members next year as we defend and grow this majority. And at the same time, this is what's really important for everybody to be paying attention to. There's an effect happening around the country, and y'all have heard me summarize it this way. The best way to describe it, in short summary, is that there are many Mamdanis popping up all around the country running for Congress as Marxist, openly as socialist Marxist. And it's a race to the far, far, far left. And as we say all the time, this is not our father's Democratic Party. This group has been taken over. I mean, the Democratic Party's been totally taken over by the far left, and Hakeem Jeffries and the team here can't do anything about it. In fact, Republicans are the only ones that can stop them from destroying our country, and that's why we must and we will win. But they continue to nominate some extremely radical candidates last night. Even people, there's a candidate in Pennsylvania stolen from his own family, and he won the primary on the Democrat side. They're going to lose these swing districts. And in summary, we'll go to questions, but in summary, this is what it boils down to. You heard the leaders say it. You've heard all of us say this over and over and over. This is a contrast election, okay? And at the end,
Stolen from his own family. Is he really trying to give the Republicans the moral high ground after the Epstein cover up, after Trump's corruption, after his kids all becoming billionaires because they're all chairmen on the board, shareholders, primary shareholders in some of these companies? I mean, their net worth went up in this second presidency within the year. I think it went up 60%. No, like 60 or 70% from like 2.3 billion to 5.6 last time I checked, something like that. Not to mention all his friends, all the Witkoffs, the Adels. I mean, it's just so much corruption. Not even speaking about the Epstein stuff, the photos. If you're in photos with Epstein, you've got Lutnick, Trump, Trump's wife, associated with the people around Epstein. And he's talking about the Democrats being morally. I mean, look at this man's face. Just look at it. Do you trust him? Jesus Christ, right?
of the day, the American people have to just look at this. It's contrast between common sense and crazy. We're going to ask the people. I mean, as all of our candidates and our incumbents are out in the field, they're just ask the questions. Do you want to keep the team in charge who secured the border, got dangerous criminal illegal aliens out of your communities and brought down crime, that got American energy dominance going again, that returned us to peace through strength, that has put all the conditions in the economy to make your life better and bring down the cost of living and higher paychecks and higher tax refunds and got men out of women's sports and little girls' locker rooms? Do you want to keep that team, that party in charge of Washington? Or do you want to turn it over? And you got to keep America on track, and that's what this election is about. Okay,
All right, thanks for bearing with me. I did the pop out thing so I can continue scrolling when we're watching a video that I'm not interested in really anymore, but we need to finish watching. So, okay, here's Trump's. We saw this graphic, right? Just add the Trump dance to it and you're golden. So, Scott Jennings just torched Thomas Massie. All right, I can respect Scott.
Thomas Massie tonight in his concession speech said something despicable, anti-Semitic, nasty, gutter politics right at the end. What a way to go out. He said, I would have called Ed Gallrein, but I had to find him in Tel Aviv. There was an undercurrent of anti-Semitism in this race on the Massie side. There's been an undercurrent of it in his career, unfortunately, and it really came out in an ugly way tonight. And I think it needs to be stated, acknowledged, and condemned because it was pretty despicable. Thomas Massie tonight in his...
All right, he's a full-blown retard. I can't stand him. Retarded. Got a pretty wife. Melania sure is pretty. And Trump looks good for his age, Kind of why they won. Oh, Bongino. No, I can't. All right.
Folks, I was pretty harsh on X last night after Tom Massie lost his primary as the incumbent congressman in Kentucky 4. There's a lesson in this, folks, and the lesson is this. The lesson is that running with a bunch of failed comedians like that coward dipshit Dave Smith, who, if you've seen pictures of him that have been floating around the internet, looks like he got beat up a lot in high school. He's a tough guy, though, on X all the time. I'll end you. I'll end you. Yeah, you'll end us. Sure, buddy. I'm sure you've ended. I'm sure a lot of men. You've ended a lot of men, Dave. Jimmy Dore, another joker. Maybe jumping in bed with Igor Third Reichland. Maybe jumping into bed with a bunch of clowns and anti-Semitic losers.
I almost won't be able to get through this, but I'm gonna try. See if we can speed up the way how fast he's talking, because he's kind of a retard.
Nazi symbols and running around telling you how much they hate the Jews, blaming it for everything. Maybe it's a bad idea in a conservative primary. Maybe it's a really bad idea. It is a bad idea, because let me tell you something. We've been in this movement a lot longer. This is our party. You don't get to jump into the party, come on in there, take a big shit in the punch bowl, and then wonder why we handed you your ass on the way out the door, despite being a decades-long incumbent in office. You're not us. Stop pretending. Just admit you hang out with your foreign terror river to the sea people and go hang out on the left. You're not welcome here. Get the out. We don't want you. I don't know what part of we don't want you. You're the type of people.
All right. Sorry, folks. I was trying to get through that. And then I refreshed my feed. I don't think we're gonna learn a lot from good old Mr. Bongino, so let's just continue going. Continue scrolling. I was trying to put it on the pop out and scroll down, but it kept pausing and it was just irritating the hell out of me. So yeah, fuck Bongino. And if you like
See
Bongino,
you, bye.
fuck you too.
Sayonara.
Idiot. What was the tweet? Turns out Jimmy Dore, blah blah blah, Jew-hating life losers, sexual deviants, leg humpers, drunks. We didn't ask for ideological war, we just finished it. All right, it's not finished, dude. They invited themselves and they shit in the punch bowl, and now they're paying dumb as to why we threw their asses out. Jake Shields, he's kind of gone full idiot too. He's been attacking Nick Fuentes amongst other people, and it's just not representing himself well. Oh man, there's someone out of the Trump dance. Okay. Oh, Chris Dudley. Chris Dudley was trying to.
5,400 times I put the ball back in my team's hands to win. And Oregon needs a rebound. We're going backwards on education, affordability, and safety. Oregon needs something new to win again. I'm Chris Dudley, and I'm running for governor.
I didn't know Chris Dudley was running for governor.
Priority to get rid of Thomas Massie, and he succeeded because Massie had, frankly, become an opponent of the president inside of the party, and you just can't do that. You know, Massie used to, reliably vote with the Republicans. That number had been falling over time. This is one of the most conservative districts in the country. It's certainly a conservative area of Kentucky. They gave Donald Trump a massive victory in 2024, and they expect the Republican congressman who represents them to be part of the team. The two big issues in the race that were in most of the advertising had to do with tax cuts and immigration, and Massie was against Trump on both of his big border security and tax cut bills. And so they said, look, we can get a Republican congressman that'll be part of the team and support the president. That campaign worked. I just want to also add one other thing. Thomas Massie tonight in his concession speech said something despicable,
All right, we saw that part already. Check this tweet out. It's kind of funny. James Lee, who's a guy I think I've heard his name, but I guess he's what is he? Journalist. He said in response to Larry Loomer's tweet, Laura Loomer needs to answer for why she was blowing Trump while he was married to Melania, allegedly. Hitler-loving Fuentes is having another full-blown meltdown, vowing revenge. All right, let's hear what Nick
The
said.
neocons, these people, the Likudniks, they have been in control of the GOP, and all I know is this apparatus needs to be shut down. That's all I know. This Rupert Murdoch, Fox News, Trump, Ike Perlmutter, Paul Singer, Miriam Adelson, AIPAC, Trump thing needs to be fucking destroyed. And I don't care who does it. It can be James Fishback. It can be Thomas Massie. It can be Steve Bannon. It can be the Democrats. It can be AOC. I don't care who does it. Fuck them. Randy Fine, Mark Levin, and Laura Loomer. I don't know where I'm going to land. I am not going to land side by side with those sick and disgusting, vile traitors to the country. That's all you need to know. So that's why I'm voting Democrat in 26. Pyrrhic victory. And this is what I want. All these pro-Israel Republicans that are doing their little victory lap today, I saw Stephen Chung say, fuck around and find out. That's what happens when you mess with the president. All these people celebrating today, I am going to make it my sole mission to take those words from tonight and shove them up their fucking ass in the midterms. Congratulations. You have an empire of dirt. Congratulations. Trump still has influence with his Jewish money over the Republican primary in Kentucky. Congratulations. I hope that goes well for you in the rest of those races in the midterms. Now you are begging for it. You celebrated the defeat of the one congressman that actually cared about keeping the promises, about no new wars, about disclosure on the Epstein files. You're 30% approval. You are the most unpopular president in history. There has never been a more stark betrayal of a political movement in recent memory. You're celebrating and participated in, an accomplice in, the defeat of the only congressman that was popular, that was true ideologically to the origins of the movement. Now you have to be utterly destroyed. That is why I say I am going out in 26 with pleasure, enthusiastically going out for the Democrats. I will be encouraging all my followers to go out for the Democrats. I am supporting the Democrats at this point out of pure vengeance. The Republicans are not on our side. And right now, the Democrats are the lesser of two evils. Randy Fine, Mark Levin, wherever they are not, is to me the lesser of two evils at this point.
Makes
That's
sense.
what has to be done. You won the battle against Thomas Massie. Let's see who wins the midterms. That's maybe what you weren't counting on. So MAGA is dead. Trumpism, you can have it. You can have your Republican Party. The young people are out. You can have the boomers. They're all going to be dead in 10 years anyway. No offense, if you are one. You can have all these brainwashed boomers that watch Fox News. Take a look at the exit polling. Every demographic under the age of 55 supported Thomas Massie. That's the future. So I will gladly take the L. I'll gladly take a couple steps back while we wait for the demographics to change. And then it'll be our party. And in the meantime, let the Democrats attack you politically. Let the funding run dry. Let them impeach you. Let them indict you. They're your problem now. I'm recusing myself from that fight. Let the Democrats return to power for a couple of years.
So, just to update here, we got some breaking news. Um, Let me change here we go. Well, that's world headline, breaking news headline. Haha. You guys are going to find out while I type it out. Raul Castro, Fidel's brother, but Justice Department. So there's the breaking news. Raul Castro, Fidel's brother, has been indicted by the Justice Department. So, dun dun dun. So when we talk about this, we'll pull up the headline again. Let's go back to the general stream. All right. So, Nick hit the nail on the head. He's pissed off. What did he say? We owe loyalty.
What is the Republican Party? What is American conservatism? What is the Republican Party? It's individual freedom, limited government, the rule of law, peace through strength, fiscal responsibility, free markets, and human dignity. I don't ask much more of anybody, but you got to hold to the core principles that made us
Human dignity.
Greatest nation in the history of the world. I never ask anybody to violate a core principle, but they have to. You have to give up on some of your personal preferences sometimes because you're in a deliberative body and you have 434 colleagues, okay, other people. So that's the message. It's nothing more than that. The president has the strongest endorsement in the history of politics, as I mentioned. But we don't demand loyalty to the president. What I demand as Speaker of the House is loyalty to our core principles, the principles of our party.
Like I said earlier, he lies as well as can tell the truth. His face does not change. He has no conscience. He said that the party isn't demanding loyalty to the president. That's the only thing they are demanding is loyalty to the president. Let's go on Massey's page. "5 hours ago to Ted Cruz." So let's hear what Ted Cruz said.
Yeah, look, Sean, that's clearly right. If you vote no 100% of the time, that's a problem. If you vote with the Democrats almost 100% of the time, that's a problem. We've got exceptionally slim majorities in the House and Senate. I will say in the past year, with President Trump in the White House, with a Republican Senate, with a Republican House, we have accomplished more in the past year than in any year since you and I have been alive. And I have no time for people that just say, no, 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 I don't want to do anything. The stakes are too high. We're not screwing around. This is not a game. If you want to just criticize everything, go write an op-ed online. Go write a blog online. But if you're going to take a congressional seat, if you're going to have a vote, particularly if we had a 250 vote majority in the House, fine, you could vote no, it doesn't matter. But with the excruciatingly narrow vote, we can't mess around with this. We've got to deliver.
So Massey, in response to Ted Cruz, said that he stood in the way of the AI data center amendment, which is the one that would, well, actually, there's so many things that Massey did. There's the poison Roundup, right? The Roundup pesticide. They were going to have full immunity from all the cancer that they've caused. Massey did not. He rejected that, right? He stood in the way of that. And then the AI data centers being funded by Americans, all the money going is they can literally take your farmland if they want. They can take your home if it's in an area where they want to build a massive data center. So that's what the bill said, and Massey stood in the way of that. So, all right. So he hadn't been tweeting since yesterday. So let's see. Let's see if 10,000 votes pulls up anything. I actually heard, yeah, see, so I heard on Alex Jones earlier, and this was taken with, I think, was it a caller? No, might have been Alex, but there was 10,000 mail-in ballots last minute. The vast majority of them went to Gallrein. So what does that tell you? And he said that right after he was analyzing the fact that Hegseth had gone out there to Kentucky as the acting Secretary of Defense, Secretary of War. That had never happened before. He said that he was there independently on his own volition. But once that happened, Alex and everybody else that knows anything about the government could tell that this is very suspicious and that they were going to probably potentially rig the election. So this guy says 10,000 mail-in ballots won by 10,000 votes. Is there a large percentage of people on serious drugs? The amount of people I'm seeing celebrating this dude winning is off the charts. It's exactly what they screamed at us. What the fuck is happening? Yeah, 10,000 mail-in ballots. I haven't seen anybody. Massie loses after 2026 vote more than doubles the 2024. So this is the other part that was suspicious. So we got all the people to go out and vote for Massie, right? He got 7,000 more votes than before. But look at his opponents, how many more votes. So the same people that voted for Massie have voted for Massie, even more voted for him. 20% more people. Look at the opponent's votes. It went from 12,000 to 57,000. How does Massie get an increase of 7,000? Right? True, actual votes. And the opponent's votes, they got an increase. What is that? 45,000? So, very, very suspicious here. Very, very suspicious. Just put the wonder emoji. All right, well, where's the face where it's like, here it is. So that's kind of the thing I was looking for, this alone right here. I mean, look at that. So Massie got 7 or 8,000 more votes than he has before. His opponent got 45,000 more votes than before. Total votes, an additional 100%. Crazy. And this is where the boomers are going to get all the hate because they're the only ones still supporting Trump and Gallrein and towing the line and doing that bullshit. See if we can get Alex's take on the Massie thing. I want to see just his little snippet.
Into anti-Semitism.
If you cross the
Jews are going to use the power that we have openly to go for you. This is an existential issue for Jews. And the Jews who explicitly give money because they want to make it clear to anti-Semitic candidates that they are going to have to go through a buzzsaw and that they are not going to simply waltz in and be, if they're treated with kid gloves by the New York Times, we are double time going to do what we can to expose who they are, to find out what we can find out about them that will harm them, and that we will do what we can to prevent them from taking office.
Israel or pro whatever their pet causes
this is,
were and are.
Harrison Smith. I believe he's on live right now at the War Room. You can find him on Rumble, Alex Jones Network, or War Room Live.
Which continue to be not just the war in Iran, but basically everything else negative that Trump is involved in. So let's go and go to clip number 35 now. because I don't want to come across as an anti-Semite, God forbid. So here's a Jewish person admitting it verbatim. Let's watch.
I think it is a good thing if Massie and the people like him and others believe that if you cross the line into anti-Semitism,
if you cross the
Jews are going to use the power that we have openly to go for you. Because what other recourse is there? Are we just going to sit here and take it, beg for scraps, hope that nice people are nice to us? The Democratic Party is going explicitly anti-Semitic. We can see it happening. People are getting benefits, as Seth says, for being anti-Semites. That seems to be part of an appeal in primaries to the left in the party. We have to use what means there are at our disposal. And in my view, and I'm going to put it blank, that is Jewish money. There is an enormous amount of Jewish money in politics, by which I mean Jewish donors, wildly disproportionate, not only charitably, but politically. And when I say charitably, I mean nobody really knows the numbers. Jews.
All right, enough of that guy. He's basically just admitting to everything. He's such a liar. He's gaslighting Americans. This guy needs to go back to Israel. Crazy bullshit that he's spewing out. What does Harrison say about this guy?
To go
exists, and so in that case, of course, the only thing you can do is try to snuff it out by, using the endless Jewish money and influence over the press.
He's talking about the Jewish money that they don't even know how much. Yeah, because it's America's money, first of all, that we give to Israel. We subsidize their entire living. Never mind. I don't want to sound.
All right. Listen, I would have come out sooner, but I had to call my opponent and concede, and it took a while to find Ed Gallrein in Tel Aviv. I did get the call through, though. I have called and conceded the race. We've been honorable the whole time, and we're going to stay that way. Welcome to the most expensive congressional primary ever in the 250-year history of this country. It's not just the most expensive. This thing went on longer than Vietnam. It started 9 months ago, and they didn't even have a candidate, and they decided they want to take me out.
I spent 3 hours at least, and I mean laser focused. That's a lot. I'm researching. It's like I'm on it, looking at the anomalies and the things that came in. And I'm telling you right now, we got hanky-panky going on here. And the very same tricks they used against Trump, it appears, were used against Massie. And this isn't about a cult of personality thing. I got issues with Massie. This is about a foreign power coming in and admitting they did all this, and Ben Shapiro trying to deny it. I got AIPAC. I posted on X. I reposted MTG's tweet with AIPAC saying, yeah, we did it. We beat them. We beat the other people. And they're overstating Trump's power because most of the people, the Georgia governor and the people in the rhinos in Indiana and then the guy in Louisiana, they were Democrats but calling themselves Republicans. So I'm like, that's all great. And Trump endorsed Ken Paxton over Senator Cornyn. Beautiful. Ken Paxton's great. So people say, well, wait, your Trump's bad, but you're now giving him a blowjob. No, I mean, I'm just calling what it is. So I see, Trump, big victory, Trump's power. It's easy with all the money he's got controlling the RNC and foreign Israeli money and other money, big tech money, to go in and target and get what he wants done for primaries. The general election, according to all the polls and the experts that are the most accurate records, like Mitchell and others, is doom. And Trump's approval rating is super low. I don't just believe the polls. I talk to people on the street. All my friends, family, all of them have been Trump supporters. Some weren't 10 years ago when I was, but at least the last 7, 8 years, they're all on board. They weren't Democrats, but they just didn't, trust him. They didn't like all the flair and the beauty pageant stuff and, the casinos and all that. I mean, I get it. It's my folks. It's my crew. It's my peoples. We're just kind of a little more low key around here. Fancy pants stuff is a little creepy. Just say, a little weird when people are obsessed with it. But that's where we are. And so I'll cover some of this today, and I'll get to more of it tomorrow because I really want to prepare for this. And I want to triple check. I've double checked already. And then what do we do? Because Massie wants to take the high road, and I know the inside baseball. I'll leave it at that. MTG is not running for office anytime soon, probably never. She wanted out. She's sick of it, demoralized. She totally believed in Trump. Then he called her and said, I don't care. I don't care about any of this. I don't want my friends embarrassed. And she just, it hurt her. Then he attacked her and lied about her. And the same thing with Massie. That guy's got a successful farm. He loves to do what he does. He's been there 12 years, and I think he just fades away. He'll do some interviews and stuff, and I mean, that's it. Worst congressman in U.S. history. Give me a break. Everybody knows that's Ilhan Omar, or maybe Rashid Tlaib, I don't know. But that's where we are here. And so Massie is not challenging this, but he really should be doing a paper recount. They should be looking at the mail-in ballots that came in the afternoon.
Agree.
Magically, they were almost all for his opponent. Here is Massie, 23.
10,000.
Concedes his Kentucky race. Welcome to the most expensive congressional primary ever. It is in the 250-year history of the country. Here it is.
All right.
We saw this part.
It's like
That's Gallrein's party, I believe.
Nice try, globalist, but Alex Jones.
Up with it for a little while. It won't be much longer, and this is peanuts. And I appreciate everybody putting up with it for a little while.
Calls gas prices
It won't
peanuts.
be much longer, but you're gonna have. And frankly, there is so much oil out there.
The ballroom in the back, and he called gas prices peanuts.
One of the things that is happening is these big ships are coming up to Texas, Louisiana, and Alaska, and they're loading up. But I don't even think about that. What I think about is you can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon, and they won't have a nuclear weapon, and they fully understand it. We're going to end that war very quickly. They want to make a deal so badly. They're tired of this. Should have happened for 47 years. Somebody should have done something about it, and it's going to happen, and it's going to happen fast, and you're going to see oil prices plummet. They're going to come down. There's so much oil out there. They're going to come plummeting down.
It'll be insanely bad by all the estimates by the fall. We're talking mass starvation, tens of millions dying. Gas prices are up 56%. And Trump I quit counting like 31 or 32 a few weeks ago. And that was just what I caught of Trump saying, we've won the war, we've had regime change, it's over, it's about to be over.
He's not lying, folks. It's literally been about 30 times, if not more, that Trump has stuck to that. So, and then yesterday he said that he had Monday he said that he canceled Tuesday's attack. And he's pressing the Iranians, but the Iranians aren't budging. So
the strait will be open. I don't care if the strait's open. Open the GD strait, the effing strait. Never really saying what the main goal is when it really is regime change. And Trump comes out again and says that the war will be over very, very soon, and gas prices will plunge back down, and that what you're paying is peanuts.
And this is peanuts. And I appreciate everybody putting up with it for a little while. Recently hit the lowest hit, and I said,
governments, we're funded by you, and I sell you.
So that's some of Alex's best stuff from today.
My dude, like this, Massie himself is out there saying that Israel is trying to buy his seat in Congress. Again, my dude, like this tactic is one of the dumbest tactics. I just have to say, it's such an it's a tactic made for stupid people. Okay, the reality is that people who are pro-Israel do not like Thomas Massie because Thomas Massie has engaged in every conspiracy theory it is possible to engage in and has made common cause with the most anti-Israel people. That's true. But the reason that Thomas Massie...
Shapiro's a real faggot. Can't stand
Today,
him.
We are announcing an indictment charging Raul Castro and several others with conspiracy to kill
Fidel's
U.S.
brother.
nationals. Mr. Castro and the others are charged with additional crimes as well, including destruction of aircraft and 4 individual counts of murder. The United States and President Trump does not and will not forget its citizens.
Be a client state of the United States. Like I said 6 months ago, I said, at one level academically, I support it's in our hemisphere gunboat of it.
Operated by Brothers to the Rescue were shot down over international waters by military aircraft from Cuba. 4 men were killed. Carlos Costa.
They will can scan.
So U.S. is gonna basically take Cuba in a Venezuela-like fashion. So that's the Alex stuff for the most part, just so we don't watch his whole show, you know. But credit to Alex, he's always putting himself out there trying to get to the truth. So oof. All right, so Massie was the top story. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, well, you know, we can talk about Trump's let's see. Stephen Miller. I'm not even gonna give him the. I'm not even gonna watch. I've already seen it. He's horrible to look at, honestly. So he's just a very ugly man. So we saw
I'm
this.
right now at 99% in Israel. I could run for prime minister. So maybe after I do this, I'll go to Israel, run for prime minister. I had a poll this morning. I'm 99%. So that's good. But I'm.
Glenn Greenwald. I can't think of a more glaring and revealing political irony than a politician who called his ideology America First, proudly boasting he's far more popular in Israel than his own country. Yeah, Trump, go to Israel. Go be their president. Get out. Let's impeach him now, resign, whatever, dude. Because this is bullshit. So let's look into the Iran war. See what kind of developments we got today. Enjoy the economy sinking and Republicans losing in the midterms. That's what the Iran war is doing. So right now is regional tensions, and the ceasefire is keeping oil prices swinging. Let's take a glance over at the economic numbers. So the second number on the right, the Brent at 105, that's what the price of the Brent crude is right now. 105. It was at about was it 110 yesterday, 111 yesterday? So you can see different prices have gone down significantly. So I don't know. I don't even know what any of this means anymore, because you really can't believe a single word that Trump says anymore. Or at least it has no credibility, you know, because you don't know what he's actually going to do or say. So, because here you could take a look at some of the numbers: coal, UK gas, propane. That's something I like to keep up. But we're at $105 a barrel right now for the price of crude. I think it was as low as in the mid to low 70s before, I think. So. Iran threatens war beyond region. So Douglas McGregor, he's a good follow. I recommend give him a follow on X. He usually has pretty good tweets. 2 separate sinkholes. Oh yeah, the sinkholes open up at LaGuardia. Large sinkholes. One at the airport, another one swallowed a bus, I guess. Looks like the bombing Iran will resume. Iran threatens war beyond region should U.S.-Israeli hostilities resume. Shocking evidence emerging that Israel was planning to help install former Iranian President Ahmadinejad following the elimination of Supreme Leader. Wow. So kind of a crazy time there. Let's see what other top stories we got. Rand Paul walks away from question on Massie primary loss. Thomas Massie, let's watch the video. Is there a video or something? All right, I guess I should read the headline. The video of Paul, whose Senate seat is up in 2028, briskly walking away drew mockery from Trump supporters who saw as a sign he's rattled by the outcome. Where's the video? This is the guy that beat Massie, by the way. He wants to institute a draft.
The American people about what's going on, things that would be important to them. And I came in with 13 pages of the unclassified. If I brought the classified attack, it'd be 1,013 pages. I can't talk about it. They're one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. I went recently to one of the radio interviews I'm fond of doing to talk to the American people about what's...
Horsemen of the apocalypse? Why is this motherfucker talking like that? AIPAC openly celebrates helping replace U.S. politicians. Ed Gallrein's victory and Clay Fuller's in Georgia ensures two outspoken pro... Ugh, I feel like throwing up right now.
I'm angered by this. My good friend Thomas Massie lost tonight. I'm angered by the smears on his character.
This is Ro Khanna.
He lost because he had the guts to take on the Epstein class. He lost because he had the guts to stand up against the war in Iran. He worked with me to pass the most consequential and popular piece of bipartisan legislation in recent history in the Epstein Transparency Act. Many young voters under 50 voted for him. He was winning them by over 30 points. And today I say you may not have a home in the Trump coalition, but there is a new generation of populist Democrats, and we welcome you to help us change this country, change the rotten system, and have a politics that puts the working class ahead of the Epstein class. My good friend.
Massie's got 7 months left. We'll see what the future holds. How to buy an election, 5.5 for Massie from constituents. Gallrein, 32 million. AIPAC and pro-Israel from out of state, over half of that, 15 million. Massie emerges as presidential contender. This is Rand Paul.
Senator, just quickly, do you have any reaction to Massie's loss? No? Senator, just quickly, do you...
Yeah, I mean... Cat Turd and Pangino can go to hell. So we covered the 10K mail-in votes. Fishy. There needs to be some sort of... but who's going to look into it? You can't right now. There's no way. And what you're going to say, election interview? No, it's not going to happen. Sucks. There's some other stories like the shooters that we can get into as well. I just want to finish teeing up any type of... What is this? All right. Stephen Miller, meh. Rand Paul. Trending. What's trending? So Bezos said something about, I don't even know if we should get into that, but Bezos got into yeah, he's saying not pay taxes. But he's got to be, bottom half earners in this country pay only 3% of taxes. Top 1% pay 40% of all revenue. So, I don't know. Can't trust nothing Bezos says either. Can't trust anybody, really. Very difficult to have any type of trust in any type of person telling you anything nowadays. Got to make up your own mind. All right, we've covered all these top stories. This is the ticks and the meat. So another thing that they're just throwing at us. And you have people arguing, saying that it's okay to biologically engineer alpha-gal syndrome in these ticks as a weapon to bite you, so you no longer can consume any protein that comes from an animal. You can get sick and die. It's crazy how dark the world can be turning if you believe any of this stuff, if you're actually keeping an eye on it, how dark it's turning, how quickly. It's just they're not hiding it anymore, you know? So. Ugh, Ben Gvir, man, don't. Israeli Minister Ben Gvir parades kidnapped flotilla activists like captured animals. No regard for international law.
Free, free Palestine! Check it, check it. Free, free Palestine! Check it, check it, check it. טובה. עבודה טובה. ברוכים הבאים לישראל, אנחנו בעלי הבית. ככה צריך.
What the hell? Are you serious?
ישראל חי. ישראל חי. כן. זיכוי, כל המטרה כאן זה לראות שאין אנשים בתהליך. לא להתרגש מהצעקות שלהם, לא להתרגש. שקט. Free, free Palestine.
These are flotilla activists, really? I need more information on this. Ben Gvir goes to where the foreign civilians kidnapped from the flotilla are being held to insult them. "430 activists from dozens of nations." This should be... How is anyone standing for this? There's just so much rage out. There's so many things out there that can enrage you, and it's all comes from the same people, the same group of people. It's not a coincidence. It's not happenstance. It's bigger than that. Everyone sees it. That's why I'm even doing some of these things, because the truth needs to get out there. We need to, you know, look after ourselves, our families, our countries, our communities. Not harming people for other people's agendas. Let's check out some of the influencers, and then after that we'll probably go into the shootings a little bit. The San Diego shooting and the Texas shooting. So this is what Nick said to Stephen Miller. You have utterly and completely failed to deliver mass deportations or border wall. You were the biggest cheerleader for the war with Iran. You are hiding behind your MAGA hat and immigration while you advance the interests of Israel because you are a Zionist Jew. So that was his response to so this I probably can't show on YouTube, so maybe I'll stop streaming and then we'll go into. Because some of these things I probably can't show on YouTube, but
You guys promote on the media. Yeah. You guys are responsible for all this shit. All you guys are responsible. And y'all want to come here and act like you show solidarity. Yeah, show solidarity.
It's the mayor of San Diego.
No more political because there's folks who are I want to make sure the parents are getting that you have information. We're waiting to make it better or easier. No, they just go straight. Keep your thought. Okay. Just one child here. One child. If something changes, would you please let me know?
You guys are responsible.
He's outside the mosque. But I guess the guy was anti-Jewish in his manifesto. I don't know. Let's see. Can we play some of what Myron said about it? Because I don't think he shows the video in this one. So, oh, this is his whole stream. No, we can't do that. Let's go San Diego shooting.
And I'm going to find you to talk directly to Battalion 6.
I wonder where this was. I used to live in San Diego. Claremont Mesa. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I know where this was. It's been years since I was there. Guess my internet's being a little bit slow, guys. So I don't know how the buffering is on your end. So I apologize for that. Probably sucks, but you know, we're trying to do what we can. Oh yeah, I've been through here before. I used to take the train a lot downtown, so it goes this way. So this is all right. Well, it's not loading very effectively, so
On it a little while at the mosque.
Mr. President, on the IRS,
They're giving a briefing on it a little while at the mosque. They're giving a briefing, and it's a terrible situation. I've been given some early updates, but we're going to be going back and looking at it very strongly. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, Justice Fund created $1.7 billion.
Can you speak a little bit about your pause on
Excuse me?
Can you speak a little bit about your
So there's a manifesto, and then there's the streaming stuff,
Let's watch.
Both suspects in this case are deceased.
and then they
All
killed
of the
themselves.
kids are safe. Our hearts go out to the families that are in this moment being notified of what has happened to their loved ones. We have 3 confirmed adults that are deceased at the Islamic Center. There is a lot of preliminary information that we're going to try to highlight and cover, but understand it's going to take us some time to get accurate information out to everyone. Here's what we know so far. At about 11:43, we received a call of an active shooter at the Islamic Center. Within 4 minutes, officers arrived on scene and observed immediately 3 deceased, what appeared to be deceased victims out in front. They immediately began to deploy with an active shooter response into the mosque and adjacent school. At about the same time, we began to receive calls from just a couple blocks away that we had more active gunfire. Officers were also responding to that call for service at the same time. There was a landscaper that was doing his work that was shot at and fortunately was not hit. That was at about the 7100 block of Salerno, which is just a couple blocks from here. Moments later, at the 3800 block of Hatton, officers were called to that location where they found a vehicle in the middle of the street with who we believe to be the shooters in this incident, both deceased. The circumstances that led up to this and the details of what happened and exactly which time it happened will come out in the days ahead.
So there's an update on that end. Let me see. My Kick hadn't updated the title yet, so let me double check. Trump back challenger ousts. Yeah, okay. Now it should be working. Let me see. I don't know. For some reason, my title isn't. Anyways, I want to go into showing some footage and maybe the manifesto. Problem is, it's going to be graphic, so we'll have to switch off. I'm also going to jump into Adrian Broner, AB. If you're on Kick, that's probably the easiest way to go. We'll stay on Rumble and Twitch also. We're going to talk about some of the Kick influencers I've been watching. Adrian Broner with D and what's going on there. He might be boxing again. Just getting fucked up and trying to hook up with girls all the time. And then we'll also go into the shooting. But let's Texas shooting. I think we can cover the Texas shooters too. Okay, yeah, because these guys, police are looking for a shooter who opened fire at 9 locations. And I guess this guy was illegal. They hit many locations in one night. 9 separate locations. I mean, the guy was just on one. Did he kill? How many people did he kill? So this guy, I've seen him on Alex Jones and stuff a lot. So I guess he had someone steal a gun from his store, and that was one of the kids that
We didn't know they were teenagers. Even when the Austin Police Department showed up, we showed the video to them. They
Look at this dude. Look at his shoes. Look at his belt
Were these
buckle.
guns not stolen though?
Knife, gun,
They
knife.
They were stolen from us.
How?
Which is considered theft.
How were they able to steal it?
It's theft.
How were you able to steal a gun from inside the store? You said it happened on multiple occasions.
No. So multiple occasions they attempted to steal a firearm from us, He showed up multiple times, and on which we determined that by looking at our security system.
What did those attempts look like?
We didn't know they were teenagers. Even when the Austin Police Department showed up, we showed the video to them. They thought they were. At a club on 7th Street, and 2 of my employees were involved in that shooting.
I remember this. This guy's always talking about the shootings at his gun shop. All right, folks. I think I'm gonna try to see if I can end it on YouTube.
Y'all better go.
My friend, my girlfriend, pourquoi tu me touches toi?
No, man.
No vidéo.
This guy's beating up his girlfriend.
You better get the fuck on. You better get the fuck on. Y'all better go.
My friend, my girlfriend, pourquoi tu me touches toi?
No, man.
No vidéo.
You better calm down. First of all, y'all too fucking loud. Y'all too fucking loud.
Oh, they're both French?
Y'all too loud. Y'a quoi, what the fuck?
You better get the fuck
What
on.
the fuck, go?
I will knock you out, dude.
Mais espèce de trou du cul, je vais te baiser ta mère, va. Y'a quoi? Y'a quoi?
You better go.
No go.
You better go.
No go. Vas-y, go.
You better go.
Help! Fuck up, go, wesh. Help! No, yo. Help on me. Vas-y.
You better chill
Vas-y,
out.
help on me.
You ready?
Yeah, ready.
You ready?
Yes.
You better
Yes,
chill
yes,
the
yes,
fuck
yes,
out.
Vas-y. Yes, 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 vas-y.
Let me go.
You don't even know. He finna beat your ass.
Vas-y, okay.
Call for help. They fighting.
No, okay.
Call for help. Go. Whoop his ass, man. Whoop his ass. Beat his ass. Beat his ass. Beat his ass. He wanna fight. Knock that nigga out. Knock him out. Knock him out. Knock him out. This ain't your bitch. He a fighter. Come on. We gonna beat your ass. Knock him out, man. Knock his ass
Crazy,
out.
man.
Knock him out.
The guy didn't even want to fight. The black guy didn't want to fight. It's his girl. That's...
They started it. They beating his girl ass. He whooping his woman's ass. He whooping her ass. Get the fuck out. You started it. You started it. Knock his ass out. Knock him out. Motherfucker, knock him out.
Jeez, man.
Только с русской я проведу дискуссию и покажу им мускулы. Ведь за границей тоже люди любят слушать музыку. Ты не просто рэп-артист, и рядом все красотки. Черное чувство есть всегда шестое чувство. Если иду в разведку с девочкой, то только с русской я проведу.
All right, folks, let's see if I can get off of the YouTube here. How do we do that? See if we can go to YouTube.